EMOJI Movie Survival Guide. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Why does the EMOJI Movie need a survival guide? It's obviously the best movie in existence.
And yeah, I agree. This is actually a very good movie. Despite what everyone's saying, I think it's a really good movie. So I got a few things to say about it. I did go to a theater and paid actual cash to see the movie.
Please send all your complaints right over here.
So sit back, grab some popcorn, bring out your emoji cookies, and let's get right. So the world takes place inside your phone, obviously. And the story begins in Textopolis. Obviously. Where in Textopolis, you're supposed to act one emotion throughout your entire life, which basically you're walking around look like you wanted to kill yourself. Oh, and by the way, there's this relationship between the owner of the phone, Alex, and this girl. I forgot what her name is, and quite frankly, I don't really even care. But this plot point has been used so infrequently that it almost seems as if the movie doesn't even care about them. So why should I? And the funny thing is, the movie kind of revolves around her and him, yet they don't even elaborate on that. So that's some bonus points for you there, Sony. Every time someone sends an emoji, you have to get your face scanned and make sure it's perfect every single time. And it makes me question what happens when someone does this on their phones. I mean, it's pretty common, it happens all the time. But if you have more than one emotion, that means you are a threat to the phone society and you must be destroyed. Eradicated. Brutally murdered. And hey, our main character is a malfunction. That means he's not fit for the society. But that doesn't excuse the fact that Gene, that's the main character by the way, has managed to mess up his first day on the job as being an emoji. And how did he mess up? He was supposed to be a meh, but he instead made this face. Because yeah, sending a meh emoji is known to make a long-standing relationship. So Gene decides to become a meh, and in order to do that, he has to go to the cloud.
You know, iCloud, that kind of thing.
And so it's an adventure of trying to get there in time through shortcuts, or better known as product placement. People are having issues with this movie because they believe this to be one giant advertisement. And if you want to understand what everyone is talking about, I have this list. I'm gonna give you this list of all the product placement in this movie. The product placements are these. Just a quick glimpse of that, and you got a basic understanding of how much product placement there is in this movie, huh? But the thing is that the story completely relies on most of these apps, especially Dropbox. I swear, if there was one advertisement in this movie, it would be Dropbox. There's just so much talk about Dropbox. Dropbox!
Dropbox. Dropbox.
Dropbox. Dropbox.
Dropbox. We have to make it to Dropbox. Don't worry, it can't get in. It's illegal malware, and this app is secure.
Oh, really? Huh, I never thought that Apple products could actually get malware. Oh, and another thing, that's supposed to be an antivirus bot. I don't really understand how an antivirus can actually be illegal malware, unless it's Microsoft, but that's a totally different situation entirely.
Antivirus is not enough. You need Trotigent.
And also, they're trying to get rid of this malfunction because he's somewhat of a virus. So you use a virus to destroy a virus so that just in case Alex just maybe checks his phone, that the phone wouldn't have any viruses because you got rid of the virus with a virus. Genius! Anyways, back to the topic about product placement. Yes, they are abundant and everywhere, but in my eyes, it doesn't feel like product placement. At least some of them. Some of them, it's just more desperately trying to appeal to the internet and try to make it look a little more hip. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I'm pretty sure most of you don't even know what YouTube is. Yeah, let's face it, most of you watching this video aren't using YouTube. You're probably using Windows Movie Maker. So yeah, YouTube is a thing now. Go ahead and check that app out. I'm pretty sure it's worth it. And the thing is, if they use fake apps too, people would be complaining that it's not that realistic. It's basically the equivalent of opening your grandfather's candy jar. It doesn't matter if you open it with your toes, with your mouth, eat the jar, or just throw it at the ground, or even open it properly. The candy is far too old, and you shouldn't even open the jar in the first place. That's the kind of situation that the Emoji Movie is in right now. But yeah, I will agree that a majority of them are product placement, but just not all of them. It just seems a bit arbitrary to me, I'm just saying. Now, the movie is as well-paced as a 4th grader who's writing an essay for English class. It starts off slow and nice, and easy at the beginning, taking its time, and right when it's about to hit the end, the film is just all around slowly paced, and it's just trying to take its time as much as possible. Here, let me give you an example of that.
Okay, we made it to Dropbox.
I ain't going to Dropbox. The
What?
comedy relief is dead.
So?
We should resurrect his annoying ass.
Dropbox is right there.
Let's go save the comedy relief's annoying ass.
No.
Please.
No.
Please. Philosophy.
Wow, that is deep.
Please.
I know a shortcut to the trash can. It's through Spotify.
Oh goody goody, yeah, when we lose, man.
Isn't the whole purpose of the movie to get to the cloud via Dropbox? What? The movie itself is 1 hour and 31 minutes long, and that's including the credits and the short that came with it. And that to me is a red flag, very similar to when a video is just barely above 10 minutes. I mean, it's pretty obvious that this is a cash grab, but we're gonna get to that later. For right now, let's talk about the characters. So let's start with the main character, Gene. His only personality trait is that he has multiple emotions. And I mean, that's all he really has, but it makes him look good in this movie because every single other character, minus a few other characters, but we'll get to them in a moment, are intentionally made to be one dimension. And instead of revolving around Gene himself, it revolves around everyone else being a complete and total idiot, making Gene an incredibly forgettable character. Gene is very likable, yes, but that's all I can really say, because everyone else is actually very mean-spirited in this film. So instead of them actually fleshing out this character, they made everyone else dumbed down so that he could become the greatest in this movie. And that tactic wouldn't actually work if you're trying to make a character memorable. Up next is High Five, and I've never had a single character that made me think about how I should kill them in 10 different ways in only 1 second, but congratulations, High Five, you frickin' passed it! He's supposed to be the comedy relief of this whole thing, but in truth, he only slows the movie down, and he's not even that funny. If anything, he's very annoying. I just wanted him to go away in this movie, and that never actually happens. I wish it does, but it doesn't. Up next is Jailbreak, and honestly, I have very mixed opinions with this character. Right now, I can understand the whole feminism thing revolving around her, but when I was watching it, I didn't think she was that much of a feminist. Maybe a tiny one, but not that much of a feminist that everyone's stressing about. I just originally thought that this was a character who hated being stereotyped. And to be honest, I wouldn't like being stereotyped either. I mean, granted, the whole
I wanted to see it because it was my idea. You know, women are always coming up with stuff that men are taking credit for.
It did tell me that she was a bit of a feminist, but I tried to ignore it because I don't really want to think about politics. I wanted to avoid talking about it in this review, but because everyone else is saying it, it's fucking impossible. But I did my fair share of research, and yeah, I can now understand what people are going at. I do agree that it is very hypocritical of her to be angry at High Five and Gene for stereotyping her as the bird-tweeting princess, yet later on becoming that stereotyped bird-tweeting princess. Yeah. Up next is Poop, one of the giant faces on the posters for their advertising. So he must be a great character, right? So, how does his experience sum up?
Yeah, I'm gonna work on the phone and I'm only 10.
That's because I believe in you.
Should we wash our hands?
Yeah, pretty much like that. But now, the moment you've all have not been waiting for, my favorite characters in this entire damn movie.
Mary, I think we're being followed, but don't overreact.
Uh-oh.
I told you not to overreact.
Easily the best character and voice acted character in this movie, far none. Every time I see him in a scene, I'm just so excited, wondering what they're going to say next, what they're going to do.
It's so captivating!
Admittingly, it can get old after a while, but I never got sick of it because I was looking for something. anything to appreciate in this movie. Also, the main villain, Alex, and what's-her-face, I don't even care. They could just go away, we don't exactly need them. So yeah, all the characters are incredibly forgettable, and it doesn't really offer anything new to the table. And while I do agree that most of the jokes are just puns or just not thought out very well, there are a few jokes here and there that actually work.
So I too fill your petty. Now go. Be free!
Should be smooth sailing from here.
Now that joke actually works. I mean, true, there could have been a little bit more work on it, but hey, it worked. It's a joke. That's all I gotta say.
Also, there is a lot of effort into the animation, but it's not nearly as expressive as the Popeye trailer, which, by the way, I can't wait for that movie to come out. I mean, granted, their marketing strategy wasn't the best, and here, let me compare the two trailers with the Popeye movie and the EMOJI movie, so that we could get a full...
Hello.
Don't worry, Miss Oil. I'll save you.
Save me? Who's gonna save you?
I'll be right with you.
This is all just a dream. Ah!
I guess so. It's just taking a little longer than I thought.
It's almost too thrilling for words. So bring the family. Doesn't have to be your family.
I mean, Jesus Christ, I know that Meh is arguably the best character in the entire movie, but come on, you gotta try a little bit harder than that. And hey, did you like the trailers? That's good, because you're not gonna see the Popeye movie anytime soon. The EMOJI movie valiantly takes Popeye's place, as if it's the movie that everyone must watch. No need for this Popeye crap. It's time to get your full nostalgia on, because algorithms! See, the thing is, companies don't even give a crap about you. All they care about is the money that they get from you. And how do you get money with the maximum potential? Algorithms! You see this trending thing? Yeah, let's add that into the movie. Oh, hang on, is this trending too? Well, we'll add this, YOLO swag twerking.
We're hip just like you. We are incredibly hip. Please, we are very relatable. Just please.
Corporations, newsflash, you're never going to reach what the new medium is like, because it's constantly evolving, and we're all developing as human beings, backwards, but we're evolving. However, while the internet is expanding, one thing will never ever change, no matter what the circumstances. We all hate you. We hate being taken advantage of like this, because they think the EMOJI movie is going to be way more popular because it's a trending topic, yet Popeye, while it's not so trending, could actually bring you more sales because of the nostalgia that it gives. But no, you gotta use the EMOJI movie because it's trending, you gotta use a simple story because everyone knows how to follow it. It's basically for the lowest common denominator here. And this may be a bit subjective, but I think a lot of people could back me up on this. Emojis weren't even that popular to begin with.
It was just a thing, and then, it's a trend.
I highly recommend, before you actually do anything internet-based, that you go and hang out at 4chan first. I doubt you'll even last more than 30 seconds. Now the thing is, if there weren't emojis in this movie, or any product placement at all, this movie would not be nearly as talked about, or popular, or hated as much as it is right now. I mean, if this movie was called The Polka Dots, and it's basically wandering around a box, it's not nearly as exciting. But hey, the EMOJI movie and the polka dots, they're essentially the same thing. It doesn't offer anything new, and it could be seen as just boring, so yeah, I give the movie a 2 out of 5 stars, which is slightly below average in my book, but I do not recommend this movie to anyone. I'd recommend you going over to the theater or get the DVD and buy it, and hell, I don't even think you should pirate it. What I want to address though is that I don't want to hype people up and go, oh, this this is a very bad movie. You shouldn't go watch it. That's like going to the store, buying a box of cookies, eating one of the cookies, not liking the cookies, placing it right in front of a child, and then say, this is the worst possible thing you're gonna eat. What do you think the child is going to do?
But what? Don't we become smarter as human beings when we grow up?
You didn't know my name and now you want my fame? Bitch, I'm blowing all these fans out of door. England is my city.
But let me use my cookie analogy to fully elaborate what this movie is. The cookie has no flavor, and it doesn't give you anything, it doesn't even fill your stomach up. It's just a cookie, that's all it really is. If you want to waste your time eating it, go ahead, but I'm just saying that it doesn't offer anything new, and it's not the worst movie ever, far from it, at least in my opinion. I don't exactly find a lot of things cringy about it, but this is coming from a guy who watches cringe compilations as well as looking at the YouTube comments, so I could be a little bit biased. But like I said before, without the emoji name, this probably wouldn't be nearly as talked about. I'm not sure if they actually did that intentionally so that people would talk about it and go in the theaters ironically, but considering this is a company that could possibly have more lawyers than animators, this wouldn't surprise me if it was. I was told that this movie was terrible beyond proportions, so you have no idea how excited I was to go and see this. I mean, just look at this.
We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. Hey guys, this is Tritrot and I'm on my way. I'm on the highway to hell. I'm going to the EMOJI movie. This is gonna be one hell of a ride.
Hopefully at least it's enjoyably bad and not so boring or so dull it's I want to kill myself bad.
This movie has got low ratings, but that's not gonna stop us from killing our own brain cells.
Of course not. This is what this channel is for.
Of course.
Do us all a favor and don't be that guy. That guy is a freaking idiot. And the main thing that I've learned throughout this entire experience is that early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. I shouldn't have gone to the movie. I shouldn't have paid a ticket to the theater because I thought that this was going to be one of those ironic things. If you want to be a front runner of a bandwagon, then go right ahead. But it's just going to be very risky because the trend could be not as good as you hoped it would be. So yeah, those are my 2 cents on the matter. What do you guys think of the movie? And if you liked the video, give it a like, and if you don't, give me a reason why, so that I could improve in the future, because I am a superhero. And be sure to count the amount of dead memes that I put in this video. And I'll give you a hint, the EMOJI movie is one of them. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.